The next principle I call giving up your personal history. I learned it from a man called Carlos Castaneda, who once said, "One day I finally realized that I no longer needed a personal history." Just like drinking, he said, "I gave it up, and that and only that has made all the difference in the world." You know, the nice thing about giving up your personal history is that if you don't have a story, you don't have to live up to it. All of us have these bags of manure that we carry around with us that we call our past, and the people who have done things to us, and the events and the circumstances and all of this stuff that we use and we bond to. We bond ourselves to these wounds of our past, and we identify ourselves on the basis of these wounds. And every once in a while we set it done and we reach in there and we smear it all over ourselves, and then we wonder, why does my life smell so bad? I don't understand that. When in fact, the now, this moment, merging yourself into this moment means that you may have been in a relationship. I had a woman from Holland who came over to see me whose husband had left her after 25 years. She had 4 children, and she just had been on the verge of suicide. She was losing weight, she was depressed, she was taking all kind of drugs for it, and she was getting sicker and sicker because she just couldn't get over it. She came to a book signing I was doing at a bookstore down in Florida, and she said, "You've got to say something to me that will help me get over this." I told her this line: give up your personal history. Merge yourself now into this moment. And if you want to know how to do it, think of your past as this hat. This is your past. Now you just can't set this thing down over here and walk away from it and give up your personal history, because you'll always have it there to look back at. What you do is that you pick up your past and you embrace it, you understand it, you accept it, as I had to go through these things I had to go through in order for me to get to this place today, and the evidence for that is that I did. You don't need any more evidence. Then you toss it, you embrace it, and you toss it. You merge into the now by giving up your attachments. Some of you have heard me use the metaphor of the wake. The wake is not what drives the boat. The wake is just a trail that is left behind. That's all it is. So is the wake of your life. The wake doesn't make the boat go, and neither is the wake of your life. The reason why your life is going in the direction that it is. The wake is a trail that is left behind, and it's an illusion to believe that it's the cause of your suffering or your struggles or your difficulties. Give it up, let it go, embrace it, understand it, get help if you need to do that if you must, and then move into the now. You are the sum total of all the choices that you've made up until now, and anything about yourself or your life that you don't like or isn't working or is immobilizing you is to be looked at in terms of, can I grow, rather than why did I do it or isn't this wrong? See, the 2 ways to motivate yourself are deficiency motivation, which says where I am, I don't like what I've done, I don't like the fact that I can't do this well or I can't do that well, so I will list these things in my own repertoire. And then I will be constantly trying to repair those deficiencies, always assuming that I'm deficient, that there's something wrong with me and I'm trying to fix it. And when you do that, you spend your whole life doing that and you never arrive, because your life becomes a series of trying to get someplace else. And it is, if you follow that, if you live that, if you behave that, then what happens to you is you become a person who will always suffer from this disease called more. You always have to have more, because whenever you are getting where you want to go, let's say you want $100,000 in the bank, and you work and you struggle and you deny yourself and you do all of those things, and you finally you get there, and here you are, you got $100,000 in the bank. All of this stuff over here is, of course, to your life, and that is all, that's what you know how to, that's how you are, that is your being, that is your way of being, so that when you do get here, what you will do is say, this is not enough. You must no-limit person is never operating from deficiency or from lack in their life. They're never saying, I don't have enough. You see, you're never going to get enough. You already are. You're everything that you need. Think of it for just a moment. Everything that you need to have total bliss, perfection of your life, you already are. You already have it. You came into this world with nothing. That's how you're going out. And the time that you have here, what you have is your uniqueness, your specialness, and you don't need anything else. Now think on this. If you don't know how to appreciate what you have and where you are in your life, you don't need anything else, because if you do get something else, you won't know how to appreciate that either. You'll just want more, or you'll want it to be different, or you want it to be the way it used to be, or you'll want someone else to be the way you think they should be. Successful people, or no-limit people, or self-actualizing people, or inner-directed people. However, whatever labels that have been put on them by great thinkers and philosophers and therapists and people that have looked at human beings, these kinds of people are people who always have enough. There are some people, if you invite them over and you say, I'd like you to come over tonight, and I'd like you to stay over if you can, instead of having to drive back, and they'll say, well, can you stay? And say, well, I don't know if I can stay or not. Well, you could sleep on the cot. Oh, no, I could never sleep on the cot. I can't sleep on cots. I got a sciatica, and I have back pain and cots. No, that's out of the question. I couldn't sleep when I got in. What about breakfast? Well, we don't have any food, but we have some old grapefruit that are in the refrigerator. They have a few spots on them. Oh no, I could never eat grapefruit in spots. No thanks. I can't eat grapefruit spots. I just couldn't do that, and these are people who never have enough. They are not able to be flexible and to change. And there are other people, if you say, would you like to sleep over? We've got a place in the sewer. Hey, that'd be great. I can handle that. No problem. I slept there before. It's all right. Okay. All we have is grateful. Oh, I love grapefruit. Well, we've got spots on. Oh, I really like grapefruit spots. Those are terrific. I'll go for those. There are some people who can handle anything, not because their circumstances are different. You see, your circumstances have very little to do with your fulfillment in life. Very little. It's how you're approaching your circumstances. It's your attitude towards your circumstances that make all the difference in the world, and taking what you are and accepting it. I got to show you this. I don't know if the camera can get this. This is a little advertisement that was in the Detroit Free Press for last September. I was giving a speech at the Unity Church of Today in Detroit, and it says, Dr. Wayne Dyer will talk about your inner child and how to deal effectively with problems in all relationships. And it was a real nice ad. You can see that. Then on top of the ad in the same paper, there's another ad, and the ad says, face it, right on top of Maya, there's no hiding from hair loss. And they got a picture of a guy, a box over his head. And they have a before and after guy there, and the after guy looks like he's just found fulfillment, and it says you can't run and you can't hide. Hair loss is a problem, and unless you take action, it will continue. Now we've got to look at this in terms of what I can do with this and how I can handle it. See, my daughter helped me with being bald a long time ago. She said, Dad, you're not really bald. Don't think of yourself that way. She said, you're just about this much taller than your hair. That's all just sort of a nice way to look at it, too. I just sort of outgrew my hair, sort of transcended my hair, if you will, all right? No limit people are human beings who take what they are and accept it and don't tell themselves that somehow they're deficient because of anything about themselves. This is a very crucial concept for me and for virtually all of us. It's this idea of taking your life in your own hands and being the kind of person that you choose to be, and understanding that everything that comes your way is an opportunity, is a blessing. And it wasn't until I learned how to celebrate virtually everything that came my way that I was able to transcend it. You see, everything that was given to us by God, whatever that is perfect. No one can deny the mountains are perfect, and the rivers are perfect, and the birds are perfect, and the hippopotamuses are perfect, and so on. This is just what was given to us. Everything else that you have on our planet, that we have on our planet, comes about as a result of thinking. Thought makes it. So, all right, this microphone comes about as a result of thinking. Somebody imagines it, somebody then tells somebody else, and it creates it. The dress that you're wearing, this shirt that the shoes that you have, the stage, these cameras, everything that you see that wasn't given to us was created by man as a result of the way that we think. The way that we think. So what gets inside of us as a cell comes about as a result of the way that we choose to think in our lives. Very important principle to understand, because once you get a hold of thinking and that it creates everything that you have in your life, you can change and make. It is absolutely perfect as you want it to be, because thought makes it so creative. Visualization is what we're talking about here. The imagery or the image that you have of anything in your life is really like mental behavior. It's like going out and practicing. If you go out and practice with the basketball shooting, free throws over and over again, that's physical practice. Imagery is mental practice. It's mental behavior. When you have an image that you can succeed at something, when you have an image that you can do it rather than that you can't.